Ever since Star Wars Rogue One was even initially announced, I've been wondering to myself what exactly they would do in regards to the opening title song for the movie, and if they would have the classic Star Wars opening crawl. And apparently, I'm not the only person that's been wondering that. There's been some news that's come out this week that the very top executives at all of Lucasfilm are still debating amongst each other whether or not they want to include an opening crawl in Rogue One, with Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy even stating, "We talk about that all the time. It's something that we're right in the midst of discussing even now, so I don't want to say definitively what we're doing. The crawl and some of those elements live so specifically within the saga films that we are having a lot of discussion about what will define the standalone Star Wars stories, separate and apart from the saga films, so we're right in the middle of talking about that." I think on either side of the debate as to whether or not you should have an opening crawl, there's a lot of valid arguments that can be made. In the argument for having an opening crawl, it's Star Wars. The opening crawl is iconic to the series, and from a storytelling standpoint, it's really great at setting the table for a first scene of the movie, as well as establishing somewhat of an overall plot that kind of stretches throughout the entire film, much like they've done throughout the first 7 films. As for the arguments against, this isn't the main saga films, and in a way it feels like that opening theme and that opening style to the movies should be reserved for that special occasion of the main Star Wars saga. It also allows the initial setting for these different kinds of movies to start off on a darker or even lighter tone depending on the movie, allowing them to sort of step further away from the established traditions of that main Star Wars saga. After all, Rogue One is something new to the Star Wars film series, so why not start off something new with an outright new beginning? Based on a poll on Entertainment Weekly's website, a majority of Star Wars fans seem to want an opening crawl, with 73% voting that they would like to see that. As for me, I'm a little bit mixed on the whole idea. I am somewhat in the camp that I feel that the main Star Wars theme and opening crawl style should be reserved for the saga films, but that doesn't mean that the anthology films couldn't establish their own opening crawl and opening title of sorts that could become a franchise staple within those movies. In my own opinion, I sort of think that's what would be best for having a designation between those main saga films and the anthology films, so for the lesser hardcore Star Wars fans, there's not as much confusion between timelines, but still enough information out there to set the story properly for the non-saga films. I guess I do have to say that there's a big part of me that feels that the main Star Wars theme song and opening crawl is a special occasion, and if we're getting that once a year with a new movie, whether it be a saga film or an anthology film, and it's appearing in both, I feel like the specialness of it all might start to wither over time. But that is just my opinions that I would like to see a new, unique kind of opening crawl for the saga films, but I'd be eager to know everybody else's thoughts as to whether or not they want to see that traditional crawl, and if you think it would eventually get a little bit stale over time if we got it with such regularity. So feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this quick little video, please leave a like, I always appreciate that. Subscribe if you would like more videos, enjoy my snazzy new Star Wars end card, and above all else everybody, thanks so much for watching.